All right. This is my first time doing this going live, but we are now live. It is January the 14th, 2020, and today is Tuesday, and I'm about to go live here. I should be broadcasting to all of our social media. Welcome to PulseWave Trading, and I'm flying solo. This is my first time doing this with the new setup, so I'm hoping everybody can hear me okay and all that good stuff. Hopefully I'm not making any mistakes and I know what I'm doing. We'll see what's up. All right, we shall see what is up. Um, this is live, so there's no editing or any of that stuff. If I make mistakes, I'm sure it's going to be pronounced. But hey, this is live. This is live television, right? All right, let's get it on and popping. I don't know if anyone's viewing live or not. We'll see what's up. Oh, okay. I got a couple folk. That's what's up. All right. That's what's up. All right. Oh man, y'all behave up in here, man. All right. Yeah, we're gonna use the algo chart. So should I say I'm going to attempt to use the algo chart, algo charts. To my understanding, the only thing you see right now is the Bill Murray photo, right? That's all y'all can see right now. All right, so I'm going to attempt to share the desktop so you can see the charts. We're going to go over a couple of charts today. So let's see here. I'm going to go like this and go like this. And this should work. Okay. Let me know if you guys see a gobbledygook mess here. If you do, then I know you can see everything. Can you guys see my first chart? All right, great. You should be able to see the chart. Let me know when y'all can see the chart, and then I'll go to the next joint. We good? Y'all see it? All right, so this first chart that we're going to examine right now is our Bitcoin crypto chart. And we are looking at the live algo charts, okay? So this is not all that other stuff. This is my algo charts we're looking at. And we're going to go over a few things. All right, first and foremost, I'm trying to get back into a flow. We've been in the lab. We've been working on some just incredible things for you guys. And I'm not at liberty to discuss it. They got me all censored up. I can't say nothing. But trust me when I say it's over the top. Something we've been working on for a minute. All right, so it's going to help you guys. Like when I go over these algo charts, it's going to help you to know, exactly what I'm seeing and how I'm seeing it so that you know how we're going to position. All right, so I'm trying to get back into a flow. I want to start doing 2 videos in the morning, or should I say 2 live things in the morning. We're going to do the pre-market pulse scan every morning. And then we're going to do a live in the trading room. We're going to do a live one right after the pre-market pulse scan. We're going to do a private pre-market pulse scan in the trading room. Okay, for the room only, it's going to be private. So if you're not signed up with us, if you don't have a free account, none of that stuff, then you're not going to be able to participate. So you're going to want to go over to PulseWaveTrading.com, sign up, get that free account thing going on so you can get in the mix of what we're doing, and then you'll be able to attend the private sessions. Now, in the private session, we're going to talk nuts and bolts. We're going to talk entries and exits. We're going to talk all the key indicators and all that good stuff. That's going to be in the pre-market pulse scan. We're going to go over the overnight markets. We're going to look at the possible 2-bar Charlie setups. and how we're going to take advantage of that um, with the reports. So I'm going to show you some neat things with that. For those of you that don't remember, don't worry about it. We're going to be going in live with that. And then, so that's two lives in the morning. Then every day we're going to do an end of day report. It probably will be around this time. It just depends on how soon I can get the PulseWave reports out for the next day, how soon I get my data. Data comes in spurts since we're doing data from literally all over the globe, all the exchanges. So it takes time sometimes. Some of them are really slow. So it just depends. Tonight was a good night. I was able to get the reports out really early. All right, with all that being said, so here on the Bitcoin chart, we've been looking at monthlies and weeklies in the last videos, but I want to just strictly focus on the dailies real quick because I want to show you something. Here on the algo chart, you notice that the Bitcoin is starting to poke its head up above the Kumo cloud, and that's a positive thing. As we were talking in the prior video, we were showing you on the monthly and the weekly how it was starting to do that there. So this is really powerful because now it's showing you multiple time frames of this movement, and this is what we like to see. We like to see multiple time frames with things like this happening. So you see you're getting up in these multiple time frames. The daily is the first thing I showed you, the weekly. Now here's that monthly that we were talking about. So we want to continue to see momentum pushing. Now, someone had given me a question about the projection analysis that we talked about earlier. If you missed that, you want to go ahead and check the video we did earlier today. But we're talking about, where we see the initial resistance points. We gave 10,000 for the first initial target. Then I gave 15,000 for the secondary target. There's more to be said in there. I gave a very lengthy analysis a few videos ago. Frank said he was going to put a link in the description of the earlier one we did today so that you could go back and visit that. We talked about time frames. I showed you that. I showed you at what price levels we saw the market building the next base and how long the sideways action was going to was going to be moving. We did all that good stuff. Okay, we did all that good stuff. So if you missed it, you're going to definitely want to go back and check that out. Okay. In addition to that, what else? We talked about where the market had been, and now we're going to continue to do that, and we're going to look at what's going on for the next 24 hours and all that good stuff. All right, so I'm not going to step on the reports because those already went out. You have those, so you know what's going on. All right, something we haven't talked about in a while is the GDXJ. So let's take a look at the GDXJ and see what's happening. Okay, so right now, as you can see on this chart with the GDXJ, you see that we are in a correction. All right, see the market is coming off of this prior highs here on the daily chart and starting to pull back. All right, finding some support at the longer term trend line support. However, based on current momentum projections, this market could threaten to pull back further and actually get into the cloud. Now, if that happens, okay, then the bull run could be in jeopardy. Now, I'm just strictly talking about the short-term time frame, looking at the daily chart. But if we switch over to the weekly chart, you can see it looks like we're okay. All right, we're okay. The market has pushed up, right? And now it's pushed back. But technically, this is more like a 61.8 or 62% retracement off of this initial breakout. So you're okay right now. All right, you still haven't taken out support, even though you've pulled back 2 bars. All right, on your weekly. This one hasn't completed yet. The week is just starting. So I'm not going to, scream anything negative right now. I know people are going to look at this and say, yeah, but what about your head and shoulders? Here's the top here, here's the top here, you know, and it looks like we're going back down here. Well, I'm not going to say that that's what this chart is showing, because I don't think that it is showing that. Is that possible? Of course, anything's possible in the markets. But as of right now, I don't see that. I think the technicals are showing us something else that's not showing up on the chart. And that's what we really need to take a look at. Now, on this monthly chart, you can see that GDXJ, looking at these, these junior gold miners, they've been participating and getting a lift because of the lift in the gold prices. That's been helping. All right, you can't deny that that has been helping. All right, so as long as we have this, we are good to go. Nothing has changed on the chart. As a matter of fact, we've broken out of the cloud. Now, we haven't taken out the higher ends of the past Kumo cloud, but we're out of it. We're not in it. You cannot technically say you're still in the cloud. This cloud had a pretty big range, though, on the monthly chart. And you can see that here. You can see that the market has a lot to make up for, all right, passing these previous resistance points. So 55 right now is in play for the gold miners right now. It is in play. I like what I'm seeing right now. And I think that the market can continue in this way. All we have to do is continue to watch it on the daily chart and see if this support line is going to hold. If this support line holds, then things can start looking good. But just keep in mind, when we're talking about playing with the miners, we have to take into account the counterpart, which is the gold futures. All right, so whatever gold is doing or not doing, that's going to play in on this particular chart. So we can't ignore that at all. So with that being said, let's run over to gold real quick and take a look and see what's going on there on the daily chart. All right, so gold is also beginning to pull back. All right, it's pulling back. Now, if you look at the daily chart, you can make some cases and some pretty good arguments that the market is about to find some support where it's at, and or the longer term trend line support right here around that 1500 mark should be solid. Now, on the daily chart, I can see why you would say that. Switching over to the weekly chart, though, you have a pretty different picture, very different picture. Switching over to the monthly chart, an even different picture. So we look at the longer term time frame to get a better understanding of the shorter term time frame. All right, so here you go. Why am I saying that this still looks very bullish to me? Those of you who are students of the PulseWave price triggers already know that answer. It starts right here with this gap. What did the market do? It came down and filled this gap right here, then proceeded to move even lower, right? But what do we have here? We got a pointer. This is a bullish pointer. Can't ignore it, folks. No matter where we go up in here or down in here, I should say, can't ignore the pointer. I think the market's just pulling back. It's going to base out and it's going to come rip-roaring back up, and we're going to crash right through 1610. All right, so 1610, in my opinion, is in play right now in the shorter term time frame, looking at the daily for gold futures. Okay, one we haven't talked about in quite a while, and that is our Illuminati index. Okay, here we go. Time to look at the Illuminati index. This is our favorite ticker, HACK, H-A-C-K. Looking at the daily chart, we have been doing nothing but marching higher. All right, now I'm sure you can go and you can look at different news pieces that, you know, talked about the war, or should I say possible war breaking out with Iran and all the shenanigans there. But remember, the hack takes into account greater things than those. What hack looks at, even though I know that this is built on being, an internet type of a, construct, they're looking at cyber security issues and things like that. This indicator is far beyond that. This indicator, this market has gone off during a lot of different false flags and things that have happened in the past. It wasn't even talked about until I talked about it first. You didn't see anyone talking about this. I brought this out. I exposed this first. Then it started getting a little bit of play on your business channels. But now they've shut up because I haven't said anything about it. So now we're going to start talking about it again. I'm sure they're going to start talking about it too. Now, I'm not being funny and I'm not tooting my own horn. Those of you who've been with me for a long time, you know what I'm about to say is extremely true. They would never admit it. But I'm here to tell you, and I've done videos in the past proving it. Your mainstream media watches my videos. Some top YouTuber channels watch my videos. Your favorite market commentators and whatnot, educators, they watch my videos. Just remember that. They would never admit it, but I have caught them coming out with information and doing the video as soon as my videos have dropped in the past when I'm exposing something or showing something. And I've timed it. I've watched it. So you've who've been with me, you know it. You know it's a fact. But that's okay. I'm cool with that. But needless to say, let's take a look now at the weekly chart on the hack. As you can see here, this thing is not slowing down. All right, it is not slowing down. Here's your monthly. It is not slowing down. It just won't slow down. It's still breaking out, even on your monthly chart. You cannot ignore this. This is happening. We're hitting new highs in this security. The Illuminati Index is telling us that we are not out of the woods with wars and rumors of wars, skirmishes, and false flags. There's something brewing on the horizon, especially when things are all quiet. That's how you know that something's definitely on the horizon. As long as hack is breaking out the way it is, you cannot sit still. You have to be alert and be prepared, folks. I can't stress that enough. Since we've been looking at the Illuminati Index, it's time to go to the next one, and that's Lockheed Martin. Here's your daily chart of Lockheed Martin. It's moving out too. Lockheed Martin daily chart gives me a little bit of hope, though, that perhaps, something serious won't happen just yet. We got this gap. This gap needs to be attended to. So before prices can really take off and go higher, they got to come down here and fill this gap. So I'm hoping that this happens sooner rather than later, because that's telling me that whatever's happening here, whatever this momentum is, it may not be as bad. But if this thing continues to take off and ignore the gap, that's bad. That means there's something really going on. There's secret deals going on behind closed doors, and that this company is about to make a lot of money, because remember, war is a racket. And as long as there's a conflict, this stock is going to do well. Let me bring that back. I didn't mean to come out of that. Let's look at the weekly on this one. Strong on the weekly. Strong on the monthly. All right. So if you're long this stock in a portfolio or something, it's doing good for you. Look at this. Look at these new all-time highs. You don't like seeing Lockheed Martin and hack hitting all-time highs like this. Now, from a pure, trader's perspective, you love it because you're long and you're making this money. But we know what these two securities mean. All right, these two securities getting strong is wrong. You don't want to see that. Not like that, and not with all the things that's going on in a geopolitical way. All right, so moving along, let's take a look now at our bonds. We haven't really looked at bonds or talked too much about bonds. Oh my goodness, what are we going to see this year with bonds, folks? The Fed has already publicly admitted that it can't do anything. It's done all it can do. Where does this leave bonds? All over the place. Look at all these gaps. The market doesn't know what to do. It's struggling. The daily is not showing you nothing. You're below the Kumo cloud. You're looking terrible. Let's go to the weekly, see what we can see. Okay. You are still bullish right now. Excuse me. You're bullish. The Kumo cloud and trend lines and price all on your weekly chart. Yes, you're in a correction. All right, bull market correction off of the short-term highs. Can it come back and break out some more? Possibly, yeah. But as long as the bond prices are going higher, that means interest rates are going to stay heading lower. And that's just how it is, folks. Bond TLT is at 138. 138, folks, after coming off a high of around the 150 mark. That's very bullish. That's extremely bullish, which means interest rates aren't rising no time soon, folks. No matter what they're telling you, interest rates ain't going nowhere. Not with a TLT ticker at 150. Nah, it's not happening. You are bullish. Only thing here that's questionable in this monthly chart is that your trend line here is not technically north the Kumo cloud yet. All right, it's trying to. If this can break out and price continues its momentum, then we're good. All right, we're good. As of right now on this monthly chart, I don't see interest rates going anywhere right now. All right, so those of you who are looking to buy a house, you don't necessarily have to lock in an interest rate. You can let that thing float for now. For now. All right. This is okay. This is just wild. The daily is just so wild. You're just not going to get a true reading. You got to look at the weekly. So right now you're good. All right. That's our bonds. All right. We haven't talked about the dollar either. Let's take a look at what the dollar has been doing. Daily chart is clearly below the Kumo cloud. Price and trend lines are south the cloud. That is a bear market on the daily. Taking a look at the weekly. The weekly is threatening to turn bearish. Prices on the weekly have closed below your trend line support. You did it once, twice, 3 times a lady. Now it's trying to come back up, but it's going to have trouble because we are under a bull market correction still. We're in corrective phase where prices continue to drift lower. It's not crashing and burning lower, it's just drifting lower. Now, you see here where the dollar got up to 99.66. Who told you that the dollar was threatening to go to par? I believe that was moi. I told you that when the dollar was way down here. And here we are. The market definitely tested going to par. But it's not over with yet. I still think there's a good chance that the dollar will break par in the near future. So I'm going to stick to that. Looking at monthly. The monthly is also weak. We're in a correction on the monthly. Prices into that Kumo cloud, all right, and threatening to come down and test the longer-term trend line support of 94.85, okay? Remember how we talked a while back that we need the dollar between that 90 to 95 level? That's what the Trump White House needs. They need a stronger dollar, not a weaker dollar. All right. So they're going to make sure that this dollar stays within this range here, if you will. Even though it came off here in the monthly back here, you know, right after February of 17, the market, the market price just plummeted, but they brought that thing right back up. They did not let that thing fall even further. and they brought it up to where it eventually went. So we came all the way down to 88 before popping up to 99. Okay, so that's quite a swing. So I think we're going to stay here for the time being. All right, looking at silver, man. Silver really hasn't kept pace with gold right now. We're still north the Kumo cloud on the daily. And again, keep in mind, we're looking at algo charts, people. So you're not going to get necessarily the same thing if you're looking at, any standardized charting package. It may or may not be on par with the algo chart. Sometimes the algo charts, they do, I'm drawing a blank. What's the word I'm looking for? Sometimes they shift away from can't think straight. Anyway, it's going to come to me. When you're tired and you had a long day, sometimes you just can't think too straight. But what I'm talking about is when there's an inverse relationship. So sometimes the algo charts may say a market's bearish, but you look at your standard chart, you say, what are you talking about? This chart is bullish and it's on fire. But the algo charts know best, and I stick to the algo chart. So I just wanted to put that out there. All right, so silver on the daily, we just started a correction. It's official. It's an official correction on the algo chart. All right, this is day one. If you come over here and look at the weekly chart, you're still bullish. All right, is the correction on the daily going to gather enough strength and momentum to force and turn the weekly chart? I really hope not. Is it possible? Yeah, but that would mean that that we drop a buck, and I'm hoping that doesn't happen. We look supported. Excuse me. And we do have on this weekly chart, we made a bullish pointer on the prior week, and we have a major bullish pointer here. I see silver north of 1950 in the near future. If you take a look at the monthly chart, silver is really trying to push out of the Kumo cloud and get north for the first time in a long time, folks. All right. We haven't been north the Kumo cloud since back in September the 30th, my birthday of 2012. One of the worst years of my life. September the 30th, 2012. All right. So that's how long it's been. The market has not been north the Kumo cloud since then. And it's trying to come alive now and catch up with gold. Hopefully we'll see that happen. But you know how it is. They love to push these things down. All right, let's take a look now at the tech sector. Let's take a look at the NASDAQ 100 futures contract on the daily. You can see this market is still bullish too. All right, still bullish. But showing some possible signs of wavering. All right, we had this break here, temporary. Then we broke out again. And taking a look at the weekly is showing more string. We're super bullish here on price and indicators above the Kumo cloud. So that's a very smart looking chart there. It's just going straight up. Taking a look at the monthly, it's pretty much just going straight up. These are new contract highs. Futures price has never been this high. But we could be showing some signs of possible slowing down and turning. All right. Possible. I say possible. Every time the lines come in closer together like this, we get a pullback. We got it here. All right. We got a little teeny one right here. We got another one right here. Another one right here. Wasn't that close like this, but got it here. And now it's threatening to do it again right here. So this could be the beginning of that. All right. Excuse me. And I don't have the report in front of me at the moment. So go ahead and take a look at that. It is possible that we have a crash alert for tomorrow's trading. I don't know if we do or not. You guys can look at the reports and see But I think we could be, if we don't have one for tomorrow, we could be getting close to one based on what I'm seeing right here as where these lines are coming in together. So that's not usually a bullish sign. Okay. So just want to put that out there. All right. Last but not least, let's take a look at crude oil. Crude oil is back in the mix, the most gangster market on the planet. Make no mistake in that. On this daily chart, you see how the gangsters came in and mollywopped everyone who was in that market, whether they be long or short. They hit you with a $6 run to the downside, $6 run from the high to the downside. That was just dastardly. After breaking out here, so you had a breakout, but this turned out to be a false breakout because the market broke down right afterwards. All right. Anyone who was smart and they got short up in here was like, yeah, look at me, haha. And then the market came in and just stole the life out of your soul and ran your short stop and just hurt your feelings. And more than likely, it came down here first, shot right up and kicked all the weak shorts out, and then proceeded to drop. That's how these markets move. That's what they like to do to you. All right. So taking a look here, we continued to go down every little day, kept going lower, lower, lower. And then we got a little pause today, but that doesn't mean that whatever this pause is not going to get sold, because now the longer term trend line resistance, or should I say support, has now become resistance as we have closed cleanly below it this time. All right, that's a clean cut. So overhead resistance now is at $59.02. So this is where we are now, and you have to round that up to like 29.05 more than likely. It's going to be 29.05. So yeah, I think this one's going to continue to do that. And you see now we're starting to turn down. Momentum's really is turning down on this one. But let's see what the weekly has to say. Weekly chart says, hello, we're inside the Kumo cloud, and we are testing the trend line support, all right, on the weekly chart. So that's where you are now. But it's showing that according to the algo charts, we still have some bullishness in here trying to defend this support line here. Bulls are trying to defend this. All right, so that's interesting to see. Switching over to the monthly, and you can see now, taking a look at the longer term time frame, we've gone nowhere. Technically speaking, the price on the monthly is in the same zone or same price that it was going back to November the 30th, 2017. We're still in the same space that we were going back 3 years ago, just about, almost 3 years ago. All this volatility and we've gone nowhere. You've gone nowhere. Straight line across, we've gone nowhere. And that's really messed up. All right. That's why I like trading and not trying to take, longer term investing, because trading allows you to take some profits in these breakouts. It allows you to take some profits in these breakdowns, take more profits in these breakouts. And then when you're up in here, you have an opportunity to be like, I'll just chill out, or maybe I'll see if I can get a little bit each day or whatever. And that's basically the way the charts set themselves up. You have these breakouts, you have these breakdowns, then another breakout, and then you have consolidation. And that's what's been happening. But in all of this, technically speaking, we're right back to where we were back up in here, November, December of 2017. Here we are. We're still in that zone. You can say technically you have not broken out of that zone. And if you go back even further on the monthly chart, you can see, okay, so we're going back here. We can go back a little further. Let me make this bigger. Let's see. All right, so all right. Move this out over here. Make this smaller. All right, so if you really want to be picky about it, we're still in the same zone that we were back in 2008, and even going back further, 2005. So technically speaking, in all this price movement, we're still where we were in 2005. And July the 31st of 2005, we were in this the same trading period, the same zone. So if you were an investor saying, hey, and back in 2005, I'm telling you, if you just buy at this price right now, 10, 15 years from now, it's going to be amazing. You're going to be rich. Oil's going to be at 300. Well, unfortunately, if you're in a situation, and especially if you need to take the money out, you're a sad person today because you're still at the same price you were when you bought it in July of 2005. See why I think investing is a little silly? Look at all the profit potentials that you missed along the way that you could have just been straight pimping along the way. That's why I love taking profits along the way. So I just want to show you that, just how gangster this market is and how for no odd reason, sometimes it trends beautifully, then other times the chop can just be insane. And yes, there were days, I remember on multiple occasions, where this market moved $10 in a day, just destroying people. So this is where we are right now on the daily. And this is always, in my opinion, the crude oil market futures has always been a day trader's market. All right. If you're a person that's going to trade smaller time frames, then you can do a little damage in this market. And it's just always been that way. Let's see here. I think we're done, man. In the words of the famous Carol Burnett, I'm so glad we had this time together. Hopefully, Lord willing, we'll be back on point with doing these every day. Again, like I said, the schedule is going to be 2 lives in the mornings and then the end of day reports, because that's what time it is, folks. And for those of you who are members, I know you're loving life this week with the Bitcoin and the Bitcoin Cash breakouts and all that good stuff. That's what we're here for, man. We're only as successful as you are. So if you're successful and you're out there making that money, then we're doing our job. So that's what's up, folks. We're going to keep grinding these out together. And like I said, there are some major changes coming for you guys that are just going to blow you away. I know a lot of you took advantage of the super discounts over the holidays. And we just have some amazing reports coming out. I can't even explain to you all the different things that are coming out. I'm just really excited about it. So I just want to put that out there. I just want to encourage everyone. This is a great time to be involved in the markets. There's so much going on right now, not just geopolitically, but just in the grand scheme of things. There's just so much going on. And this is the smoothest, additional or secondary income that I know of. There's no other thing that can match this, not even real estate. So be encouraged, folks. If you haven't already, PulseWaveTrading.com. You can sign up for a free account that gets you your foot in the door. You can see what we got to offer and all that good stuff. With yours truly, I've been on YouTube for about a decade now. I think I came in 2008. Can't remember if it was 2008 or 2009. But I came on here and I started doing these reports. And every report I've ever done is still up on the channel. At least it should be. I know now that Matt and Frank done got a hold to it. I know things have changed. A lot of things have been moved around. But a lot of my famous stuff works are up there. Like the flash crash of May 6, 2010 is still up there. When I called the top in silver, those videos are still up there, and people were hating on me. That's still up there. Just a lot of things. I've forgotten a lot of the famous videos we've done, but pretty much they should still be up there. So anyway, just want to encourage you guys, if you ever thought about doing this and haven't took the plunge yet, what are you waiting for? Come on. This is a wonderful time to learn and to get acclimated to what we do. And with that being said, folks, real quick, because we failed to do this earlier, I will take some questions. I'll take some few questions. If you have some questions, I'll give you 2 minutes. You got 2 minutes, so hit me up. What you got? You got questions? I'll answer a couple, but then I'm gonna go jet. It's been a long day for me, and I want to go relax. So you got 2 minutes. I open the floor up for 2 minutes. Counting right now. Anybody got any questions? If not, then I'm going to see you guys back here tomorrow morning for the pre-market pulse scan, and then in the trading room for the extended. Okay. All right. Love you guys, man. You guys be encouraged, and we're gonna have some fun. All right. This is just the beginning. This is the first end of day report for the year, and we're gonna be smoking. All right. So get ready, folks. I'm gonna be hitting you hard. Is Bitcoin going to hit its head and fall out? That's a good question. We'll see. When we do the pre-market post scan tomorrow and check the overnight markets, we'll see. We'll see what's up. It's tough to say. I'm going to stick by the reports for tonight. I don't know if there's a rally alert or crash alert on that report or not, but if it is, I would definitely watch out for that. All right. I do explain my algo price triggers in a lot of our reports and things of that nature. Excuse me. But the algo price triggers is the result of 20 plus years of market research and trading. I first started working on my system in my first year of working on Wall Street as a trader and money manager, and I was hired to design trading systems for very, very wealthy clients that would hire me to design systems for different markets that they wanted to take advantage of. Soybeans was one of my first markets I traded, live cattle, treasury bonds. Those were my first markets that I designed systems for. And a lot of what I did back then, believe it or not, you guys are benefiting from right now. The famous soybean system, that system is a part of these price triggers. And oh, thank you for the donation. Thank you, Franklin, for the donation. I mean, no, not Franklin. IT. Thanks, man. Good looking out. Yeah. So the soybean system was one of my best systems I ever created. It was designed to take a point and a quarter out of the soybean market every single day, and it would do it on the open. Excuse me. Okay, another question. Your outlook on Veritasium and the SEC ruling on XRP. Okay, so I need to bring myself up to speed on the SEC ruling on XRP. I know it not. I'm not going to sit up here in front on you and pretend like I know something I don't. I have no idea. As far as the Veritasium, man, goodness, I still rock with Reggie, man. I still rock with Reggie heavy. You can't erase the amazing work he has done. He's one of the greatest analysts of our time, and I can't knock him. I can't take nothing from that. As far as all the paperwork and all the court stuff with Veritasium, man, um, I own a couple of and I'm not looking to ever get rid of it. To be honest with you, those one of the two little things that I have, and I'm not going to touch them. I'm going to hold them because I still think that one day the Veritasium is going to be something special, and that's only because Reggie is involved. If Reggie wasn't involved, then I probably wouldn't have that that outlook. But because he's involved, I think very eventually could do something very special. All right, so if that will be it, no more questions, I will move on and see you guys in the morning. I bid you farewell. Everyone have a great night. Where if you're here on the East Coast in the States, and good morning to you if you're overseas. Good morning and have a wonderful day on that. Let's see. Another one said, okay, last question. What's your take on the Wall Street Journal piece on hedge funds directly getting fed liquidity, bypassing authorized dealer? Are we going parabolic Austrian crack up boom? Gypsy Tree, that's a good question. Happy New Year to you too, by the way. Um, Happy New Year to all you guys. That's a darn good question, man. Okay, so here's the thing with the hedge funds. I am going to read something kind of nefarious into that, and the only reason being is because I happen to personally know that there's been a lot of hedge funds closing up their doors within the last few months. And over the last 6 months, it's been a big run to the exit. A lot of funds are closing up their doors, man, and a couple of them are pretty famous big funds. So that makes me scratch my head and be like, huh? So let me get this straight. The biggest boys on the block are leaving the building, and a lot of the banks are leaving too. Goldman Sachs and J.P. Morgan and a bunch of other ones. They're closing their trading desks. All right. Later on this year, there are going to be massive layoffs in the financial sector, especially in the banking sector. Massive layoffs. All right. That's been flying under the radar, but it's already been announced. Massive layoffs. I can't stress that enough. Massive layoffs. One firm in particular, I think it was Morgan Stanley, said they were going to lay off 10,000 people. All right. That's a lot of people. I don't care how you cut it. I don't care if you say, well, they have 200,000 employees or 100,000 employees worldwide. It doesn't matter. If you have 100,000 employees nationwide and you lay off 10,000, that's still 10% of your workforce. So, I mean, good grief. That's a lot, folks. That's a lot of people. So anyway, that makes me think, how are they getting fed some liquidity? To stay in business if people are running to the exit. All right, correction said sorry, CFTC, not SEC on XRP. Okay, this is something that's changing every day, dude. At first they were saying that cryptos are not money, they're not currency, they're not securities. Then now they want to shift them over to the CFTC. So I'm not sure what it is that they're trying to do, because now they're saying that it is money, it is a currency, it is a security, but then you throw it to the CFTC, where I'm confused. CFTC is not the SEC. The SEC handles stocks, bonds, mutual funds, things of that nature. The CFTC handles the field that I was into, which is futures, commodity futures. The CFTC is the SEC of commodity futures, which also covers retail forex. Okay, so I'm not understanding what the CFTC has to do with XRP or any other crypto for that matter. It's not a commodity futures contract unless you're trying to say that now you're going to consider them commodities. So if you're calling cryptos commodities now, that changes everything. May have to do a special live on that just by itself, which we probably will do here in the near future. Okay, last but not least, someone asked me for closing remarks. Then someone said they don't even have bank tellers anymore at my bank, just ATMs that deposit or withdraw. I'm sure they're going to start replacing everyone with algo bots. Absolutely. That's already in the works, as a matter of fact. They started this pilot program back in the 90s, in the mid 90s. I remember seeing a bank, and it was a pilot. This bank, when you walked into it, I forget the name of the bank, but you walk in and there's no people. Everything is a computer. There were these touch screens and stuff all over the place. And you go in and you talk to the computer. It was a pilot. It was the only bank that was like that. They had no human beings involved, just computers. But here's the funny thing: there were people in there. You just didn't see them. They were like behind the wall. It was really weird. So to see that pilot thing happen, and now they're ready to roll it out and do it more mainstream, is also kind of like Max Headroomish and weird to me. All right, so closing remarks is for those of you who are overseas and you're going to be up and awake while I'm sleeping here shortly, keep an eye on that Bitcoin, keep an eye on those gold and silver, and see what you see, and be ready for tomorrow morning. A lot of times when in the overnight market sessions, they create what is called 2-bar Charlie setups in the morning. So we're going to be going over some possible 2-bar Charlie setups in the morning. So with that being said, remember everybody, bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. So remember to take what you can and give nothing back. Thank you for hanging out with me with the live, my very first live of the new year, my first live with this new setup that we got. All right, so I will see you guys tomorrow morning with the pre-market post scan, which will also be live, and then we'll do the private live with the we'll take the party over to the website afterwards. All right, so good night, you guys. Peace and love, and we are out.